are probably yes if you're watching this video. So today we're going to look at a few of the dirtiest jokes that you probably missed in certain cartoons. So let's do this. In Zootopia, great movie, when Officer Judy Hopps puts Nick in his place with a line that even the adults in the audience had to think twice about. I mean, I am just a dumb bunny, but we are good at multiplying. Okay, so that's clearly alluding to intercourse and mating. This video is definitely getting demonetized, by the way, so watch it while you can. When The Simpsons introduced Sneed's Feed and Seed, formerly Chuck's, and it went over some people's heads. Huh? Oh, I'm reading the explanation at the bottom. So, "eed" at the end of each word. Now let's do it with Chuck. So it's Chuck's and... Yeah, okay. That's kind of high IQ, though. I don't think people watching this show would have picked up on that. When Gronk pitched a tent in The Emperor's New Groove. Okay. I think that's pretty clear what's going on there. Don't need to use too much imagination for that. If you're a guy watching this, you know exactly what's going on. If you're a girl watching this, stay pure. When Buzz Lightyear had a really hard time hiding when he was excited. So what's her name? Jessie, I think. He sees her, and then his wings go out. And since he's a toy and he doesn't have the other area, his wings are acting as his... I've actually never picked up on that, so that's pretty good. Now we're moving on to Monster House. This movie feels like a fever dream. There's Chowder. That must be the uvula. Oh, so it's a girl house. What? Okay, so I get what they're doing here. There's also a female anatomy part, which of course we can't show, which is somewhat similar, I suppose, in spelling and in length. And I think that's what he's likely referring to. Dirty joke nonetheless. Surprised they got that in there. All right, so this is The Flash, fastest man alive, which might explain why you can't get a date. I don't think I need to explain that one. There's nothing wrong with it, you know? You go at your own speed, you do what you gotta do. I'm talking about running, of course. Nice to meet you, Robin. I'm the professor. He met us in his laboratory by accident. It's okay, Professor. I was an accident, too. Where are all these jokes coming from? Like, I watched this show, and I've never heard this before, because I definitely would have processed this and then been, like, traumatized from it, but I don't remember this whatsoever. Even the professor's facial expression clearly understands what she was alluding to. Don't worry about it. My dreams were shattered years ago. How many years ago? How old are you? This is the classic parent hate their kid trope, which honestly is one of the worst because I think all parents should be loving their children. And if you're a kid watching this right now, go and hug your parents because they love you very much and you should love them back and don't give them a hard time because they care for you. Don't know how a dirty video just turned into a life lesson, but that's how it goes here. Whenever their masculinity is threatened, they shrink in size.
Are you talking to Bunny? Bunny, Otter talk. Otter talk Bunny.
Bruh.
Or when it's cold outside. Okay, Rocco picking berries. Alright, that was definitely not a berry. That was a Bali. We have the greatest movie of all time, Shrek here. Donkey says, so, this must be Lord Farquaad's castle, to which Shrek replies, do you think maybe he's compensating for something? I don't know if he's talking about his height or something else. But by the look of Shrek's body language, I think it's something else. Shrek looks very confident as well, so we could probably assume that Shrek's packing. This is in the Rugrats. Man, they cut my cord. And Phil says, consider yourself lucky. Now, I don't know if this is a circumcision joke or the fact that Phil is a male, and he obviously will have something there. Either way, though, it's definitely a dirty joke that they got away with, and for that, I commend them. All right, let's see this subtle joke in Ratatouille. So the chef says, one can get too familiar with vegetables, you know. All right, so unfortunately, I know what that means immediately, be it a carrot or a cucumber. These are vegetables that people get way too familiar with. So this chef is indeed right. I just recently watched Ratatouille. I don't even remember this line. This might be like some Mandela effect thing happening now, but that's all to say that Ratatouille definitely snuck some stuff in there. I have this tiny little, and it's Alfredo Linguini, who's making this very small little gesture, but he's clearly alluding to the rat on his head, saying, I have a little rat chef that cooks for me. But when that girl looks at him, I forget her name. I think her name's Nora. She looks like a Nora, doesn't she? He thinks that he's talking about, you know, look, doubloons, don't drop them. There could be a lot of reasons for this, though. Like, you don't want to drop the soap in general because then it gets dirty and then you wash your body with it. Or does soap get dirty? Can soap get dirty? That's a tough question. I would say yes, soap can get dirty because it can transfer dirt to your body. Anyways, I don't think he's alluding to dropping them in prison. And if he is, they definitely got away with a very dirty joke. Groupies flash Lightning McQueen in cars. We're like your biggest fans. Ka-chow, I love being me, in Owen Wilson voice. So what, they're flashing them and it's like the tires are acting as their melons? Okay. Time for Toy Story 3, which I never watched. I know this guy's like super evil though, right? I don't know what his goal is. I don't know what his plan is. I don't know what bro's doing, but Mr. Potato Head says to him, hey, no one takes my wife's mouth but me. And they're saying that he's making a fellatio-related joke, which I guess makes sense. I mean, why else would he say that? Unless he's talking about kissing her, which is honestly likely more the case, because it's a Disney movie, but I guess as we've seen already, Disney does not really care about their morals. When Rugrats got way too grown up, and I guess that's Tommy Pickles showing, her name starts with a C, I think, his pants, which I don't know the context to this. No context can basically get past this joke. This is objectively, I mean, it's not even trying to hide being a dirty joke. Like, what context, I'm curious, could this be considered normal and not a dirty reference? Like, maybe he's showing... No, there's nothing. I have nothing, truthfully. Harley Quinn and her pie. Want to try some of my pie? I think that's a stretch. She's just soaked in pie. Although, then again, Harley Quinn is, like, super like that. Isn't Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn in the next, like, Joker? SpongeBob says, Patrick, your genius is showing. Where? And he covers up. Genius sounds very close, like... You guys complete the sentence. All right, so here's some miscommunication in SpongeBob. SpongeBob, don't let that guy sit on you. Be assertive. Not insertive. Ooh, okay, but to be fair, SpongeBob's putting his finger in the guy's pocket and he's inserting that. It's not something else. Don't get it twisted. SpongeBob is a very PG show. Actually, it's not, but you know what I mean. All right, so Cat in the Hat. Dirty Ho. I'm sorry, baby. I love you. This movie's so good. That one I started to pick up on because I think I watched Cat in the Hat when I was 12. And I think when I was 12 is when I started to really develop, like, a dirty mind. I started to reach puberty probably around, like, 11. Is that normal? I think I had a beard pretty early. Not a beard, but, like, facial hair, like a mustache growing in. I remember the number one thing to show that a guy was experiencing puberty was underarm hair. Like, when that started to come, that was, like, the first instance of, oh my gosh, what's happening? And I think that was, like, 10. All right, so this is from Gumball, and I always see this meme. Okay, I see. There's tissues in the corner. He's taken aback that somebody walked into the room, and it looks like he's looking at like a banana cream pie or something. Clearly something that is meant to be NSFW. It actually might look like a tangerine. I don't know what bananas like to watch, but clearly he did something wrong if he offended Gumball, who's shocked. Is that Gumball? I don't watch the show. All right, in Beauty and the Beast, Beast says, I've never felt this way about anyone. Oh, that's so cute. I want to do something for her, but what? And the clock says, well, there's the usual things. Flowers, chocolates, promises you don't intend to keep. That's not really dirty. That's just like an adult joke. That's like something that only adults that have experienced heartbreak would ever understand. But a lot of people don't keep promises. Kids don't keep promises either. Kids are some of the biggest liars out there. If you're a kid, you're a liar. I don't care. Daffy Duck, and he's reading a Play Duck magazine. I never picked up on that because, again, like when I watched this show, I was unaware about Playboy. But looking back, pretty cool that they inserted that. So this is from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Don't touch yourself is one of the notes on the bathroom. That's as clear as it gets. I would have never picked up on that. I'm sure this scene